My name is Tarmac, and this is your Game Industry News Wrap-Up for the week of June 3rd, 2017. Richard Garriott, creator of the Ultima series of games, has announced a new equity-based crowdfunding campaign through his company Portalarium for the Shroud of the Avatar. Shroud is an MMO that is totally not a new version of Ultima with a slightly different and not clearly trademarked name. Portalarium raised a few eyebrows with the new crowdfunding campaign as they released some financing numbers along with it, numbers which show that the company is basically burning money as fast as it comes in, with only about 2 months worth of expenses sitting in the bank at any one time. As anyone who lives from paycheck to paycheck knows, this is not an ideal situation. Original backers are asking what happened to the $11 million the original Kickstarter raised, which, given its 2013 campaign launch and publicly known $230,000 monthly cost, simply means the money is spent and the game's not done yet. In 2008, Garriott paid a reported $30 million US to go to space. I only bring that up because you'd think that someone who's been to space and back for $30 million could, for $11 million, finish a video game in 4 years. Developer Tequila Works taunted the pirates with their recent game Rime. Rime was protected by Denuvo, and the dev explained that this was so they could ensure the best experience for gamers, a suspect phrase if I've ever heard one, and that they would remove Denuvo if it got cracked. The pirate taunt worked perfectly, and Rime was cracked in less than a week, with the cracker explaining that the game had poor load times due to the implementation of Denuvo requiring hundreds of thousands of authentication calls, likely the fault of the developer rather than Denuvo itself. Tequila Works, true to its word, removed Denuvo with a patch shortly thereafter, and oddly, loading times have been dramatically reduced. This situation is so odd because it was almost as though the devs wanted the game to get cracked so they could remove a publisher-mandated DRM scheme. But of course, I have no evidence for that bit of conjecture. In other news, some evidence has come to light that Denuvo is using an unlicensed version of VM Protect, and may be facing a lawsuit at some point in the near future, which, I mean, I got a vulgar phone call from some random internet troll because Denuvo couldn't secure their website, and I didn't think a more ridiculous situation with them could happen. But a DRM platform using pirated software? This stuff writes itself. As a follow-up to the news last week that some Kerbal Space Program developers were hired by Valve, Take-Two has officially bought Kerbal Space Program itself. Kerbals out in the wild are of course rejoicing because not only will Take-Two likely be pushing for a sequel to the Space Launch and Flight Simulator, but that they'll be able to afford amazing new spaceships, assuming players love microtransactions. Seriously, Take-Two is the company that took Grand Theft Auto, a game about stealing cars, and made a killing off of microtransactions where the only way to get certain cars is to buy them in a game called Grand Theft Auto. I think the best thing Take-Two could add to KSP though, and it's something that I'd be willing to pay for, is a DLC pack that exchanges Kerbals for minions. And finally, Valve has announced some of the upcoming features for Steam Direct, the system that'll be replacing Greenlight as the de facto Steam stock system. Through a blog post on their website, Valve has said that in addition to some solid curator changes that will be launching with Steam Direct, the fee, which many indie devs were worried about, is going to be a low $100 per title that you want to put on the Steam platform. Gamers online have been expressing concern that this is too low, but I feel that this concern is missing the point. The access fee is intended simply as a filter for the fly-by-night trolling that used to happen under Greenlight, and it's per game rather than once lifetime for the account, so it will certainly help filter some of the crap. No fee was ever really going to stop the trading card scam operators, so you have to consider this change in combination with everything else that Valve is doing. We've got algorithm changes, Steam trading cards not unlocking until the system believes it's a legit game people are actually playing, and $100 just to get your game on Steam, which will all work in combination for hopefully a better store. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all pans out, making things much easier for devs to at least give Steam a try. They're really opening the valve to the platform here. Your video game releases for the second dumbest week to release video games, June 4th to 10th, with the dumbest being E3 next week, are as follows. For those who working a real job just isn't enough, Giant Software will be releasing Farming Simulator 18 on June 6th, which is exclusively for mobile platforms via iOS, Android, 3DS, and Vita. Farming Simulator brings over 50 different farming vehicles, and it's ultimately the best game in its field. June 9th hails the release of Dirt 4, the most recent off-road rally sim by developer-publisher Codemasters. The game also, just like Farming Simulator, has over 50 different vehicles with two main playstyles: Gamer, which is a bit more ridiculous fun, and Simulation, which is shooting for racing realism. It's also got a route creation system, which lets you change what the rally route is on a particular map. Pretty nifty feature. And loads of different game modes. The game will be out on June 9th on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. This has been your Game Industry News Wrap-Up for the week of June 3rd, 2017. As a public service announcement, not this upcoming week, but next week is E3. I'm not going in person, but we'll be rebroadcasting all of the major press events on twitch.tv/tarmacgaming with requisite commentary, and if you're going to be watching them anyways, I'd love it if you watched with me. We'll see about uploading some supercuts to the YouTube channel as well. As a result, and due to some personal stuff that I need to get done, I'm going to take this week off of making videos. I know that'll bug a few people, but I gotta do it. So there won't be anything this week until I set up to stream the EA press event next Sunday, the 11th. Please accept my apologies in advance, and thanks for sticking with me. E3 is always exciting, and I hope to have some good coverage for you. My name is Tarmac. Thanks for watching.